Hello, what's up, folks? How you doing? I hope you're doing super great wherever you're watching us from. As you know, these are presenter Jintuk Stories, and I'm always striving to bring you contemporary things that we can have a discussion about. Now, for the longest time, you have known that many white veterans, especially the working class white Americans, were often used as a tool by the ruling elites to maintain power structures. Many were drafted or manipulated into fighting wars that benefited corporations and political interests rather than the common people. However, history also shows that white Americans, including many veterans, have often supported policies that maintained racial hierarchies, even when those policies ultimately armed them. And you can look this in history. First, we talk about the Jim Crow and segregation. Many white veterans benefited from the GI Bill and World War II, but black veterans were largely excluded due to systemic racism. Also get to look at union busting and racial divides. White workers, including veterans, supported racial discrimination in labor movements, and hence, this weakened worker solidarity and allowed elites to exploit both white and black laborers. Also get to look at the political choices. Many white veterans voted for leaders who cut veteran benefits while upholding racial divisions to maintain their social status above black people, even as the ruling class exploited both. So you get to ask yourself, is this a fault of the white veterans that made the decision that they made? First, I'll say that yes, it's their fault, because when you try to look at history shows that they have always been sabotaging for themselves, because they did this knowing very well that the structures are going to favor them, but at the end the structures moved them so aggressively. So I want us to watch these videos. These are presented Jintuk Stories, and I'm sorry for not sharing the audio because the powers have gone off, but I gotta work. So let's watch the video. I'll be back and we'll have a discussion in regards to this. So let's watch the video.
Baby, folks is mad, and I'm talking about these folks. They are mad.
Never want to hear another red hatter say that they support veterans or
hear another thank you for your fucking service. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. You fuckers took my mental health care. The one thing that keeps me from killing people, from losing my goddamn mind. You took my goddamn peace of mind. You fuckers.
They fired his doctor, but they didn't tell us. Just waited till it was his appointment time, and then she never showed up. And then he called to find out where she was. He said she got fired. And this was his next.
Now, I don't know if they are Trump supporters. I don't know who they voted for. I do know that veteran deserves better than this. I think I read down in the comment section that they were not Trump supporters, but I don't know. A veteran deserves better than this. And it's sad that veterans overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. They didn't believe that they deserved better than this. And I'm not saying all veterans. I follow veterans that are fighting against Donald Trump and MAGA nuts, using their platforms to do that. This is a terrible situation that Trump supporters put us in, MAGA nuts put us in, the leftists, the never Kamalas, the uncommitted, the Palestinian movement. Y'all put us in this.
This is my message to the media. First of all, what you need to know is that I'm a nobody. Unfortunately for you, there are tens of millions of nobodies. If you will not report on these protests, we will bring it to your fucking door. And we will do it every day until you cover the truth of what is happening in this country.
This man is fighting for his country. A sovereign nation got invaded. His people are dying. And this motherfucker talks about him wearing a suit. I hate this fucking country. I've never in my life felt like I do right now. I don't give a fuck what he wears. This man has been respectful to every leader in the world. Everybody. And you clowns want to fucking do that shit to him when he comes over here. And then talk to him like shit and kick him out of the White House. You fucking disgraceful son of a bitches. Man, I just want to be next to Zelensky right now.
It's time to speak up. Hey, veterans, I am certain you have already figured out a better plan than me, and I need to know what it is. Because I'm not really scared that the government is going to send the army in after me. I'm not a very big fish in that pond. But what I'm scared about is when Trump institutes the Insurrection Act, which he's going to. We know. He wrote about it on January 20th. It's coming. My fear is that he is going to then tell MAGA militia to go get the ones. Go get the ones that are insurrectionists. And that's when my neighbors come for me. Because I am in a red state, in a really small, really red town. And at the town hall meeting yesterday, I pissed off everybody within a 50-mile radius. That's what I'm scared of. I want to see if the veterans can form like community watches. Can you guys do that? Veterans, can we get y'all to like do the community watches? Because when the Insurrection Act is enacted, I believe MAGA militia will be called up. When he said, no man who saves his country commits any crime, they're going to get and there are some around me with itchy trigger fingers. So I either get to run to Canada or I need to know that my veterans in my area will be around to respond to the MAGA militia. I'm going to do a live tomorrow night and I want to talk about this if we can, or I get kicked off again like they do all the time. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are out there and go love your neighbor.
I just keep thinking about like all those veterans that are starting to realize what's going on. And that shit is just so sad. Because a lot of them genuinely thought they were helping people. Like, I've met the sweetest veterans out there, dude. And they had no fucking clue. The whole time they had no fucking clue. Some of them still to this day have no fucking clue. And that shit, when that shit's gonna hit, if they thought the PTSD they got from being in war zones and seeing the worst shit humanly possible was bad, realizing you're the problem is even worse. That you got manipulated to become the problem. And that shit, I don't think, like, they already are killing themselves at such an extreme rate because we do not support them after we literally tortured them for no fucking reason other than some greedy billionaires trying to make more money. They're fucking human beings. And the fact that they're not seen as human beings in their own nation that they thought they were fighting for, that they put their life on the line for, that they sacrificed being away from their families for. Fuck, and that kills me, man. Like, I just started crying about that because I just saw a veteran talk about, like, Palestinian liberation. And I'm just like, the things that these people are gonna have to process are going to be so severe. It's like learning you're the villain this whole time. Like, and you didn't mean to be a villain the whole time. And the thing is, like, I went out with an ex-combat Marine who was really sweet, and he's very smart, but he could not, like, accept that him being in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, any of these places, even though he may not like, he was definitely fighting, he was a combat Marine, he still to this day will not accept that he was not supposed to be there, that he was not supposed to be hurting those people, that he didn't fully understand what he was doing. And I know that that he's just a very positive minded person, that I know if that shit hits him, it will break down every fucking wall in his mind that he's put up. Like, and as someone who struggles with PTSD, I can't even imagine, man. I really can't even imagine. It is really so heartbreaking. It's genuinely so fucking heartbreaking. Because most of these people go in as kids. They have no fucking clue. If I joined the military at 18 years old, 20 years old, I would not have known better. I would not have known better. I really wouldn't. I mean, I would realize it once I got in, because I can read human behavior, and it's my special interest that I can understand the nuances of manipulation tactics, but it's just, they trusted the government. They really trusted, and they pay him like shit, bro. They pay them like shit. They do not take care of them. They rarely ever take care of them. Like, it's just... the amount of people that this country just tortures and torments, even when they are on their own country's side, their own government's side, unaware. Like, it's just the fact that the fucking billboards that are on the highway are telling veterans to put their guns in a box and lock it and put a picture of someone they love on top of it, as if that's a preventative measure. I know what PTSD feels like, but I don't know what their PTSD feels like. I know what my PTSD feels like, and I know when I am in that mindset. It's just... fuck, man. I'm off my bed, so I'm just crying way more. But it's just, I just keep realizing that, and I'm like, if there was a crisis already among veterans, this is gonna be once shit is just internationally known and everybody's aware, oh man, it's so heartbreaking. It really is. Like, I understand that they did a lot of bad things. They really did, and and they know, and a lot of them have realized what positions they were put in. And they felt a lot of them didn't have a choice in the matter, okay? You can't just walk off in the middle of a fucking desert in another country. Like, that's not... Then you lose your entire family, you lose everybody, you lose everything, and then now you're also traumatized in a country that you don't even know anything about, and it's a war zone? Like, that's not how any of this shit works. Like, it's just... And a lot of people just go in because they're poor. That's the only reason, man. And it pisses me off so much. It really does. A lot of these people are so sweet and so smart, and they genuinely thought they were going into this to protect their country, to help people in war zones. Like, they just didn't understand that the same thing that they were doing, the people of that land were doing themselves, which is protecting their land. They're protecting their people, trying to, with the least amount of resources humanly possible. And it's just, they never gave either of them a chance. They never gave the resistance fighters a chance. They never gave the veterans a chance. Like, it's just... It really is super heartbreaking. And I just keep thinking about Aaron Bushnell, and I'm just like he didn't deserve that to be his end. Like, he didn't deserve that. No one deserves that shit. Even if it's in protest, no one fucking deserves that shit. Their families don't deserve that shit. To be so disappointed in your country, to be so betrayed by your own country, that you off yourself because the government has rejected who you are. The veteran that's the first, they, them, non-binary, like, X gender. Like, it just... All they know is how to be brave. Or try to be brave. And then you tell them you have to be, when you've broken them so much. They are just human beings. They are just little kids on the inside. They are not a fucking wall. Like, I don't understand how we functioned like this for so long as a country. Like, I don't understand. It makes no sense to hurt this many people for no reason but profit that no one gets to see. Not even the veterans. They're on the streets dying.
It only took 2 weeks for Republicans to go from, we need to stop sending money overseas so that we can care for homeless and disabled veterans in our country, to homeless and disabled veterans in our country are scamming the system and we need to take their benefits.
Is anyone else surprised? Because I'm not. As a disabled veteran myself, yeah, I've never once thought that they actually fucking cared for us and actually fucking supported us. No. They like to put forward I support the troops, I support veterans, but the second that we come home and the second that we are damaged and broken, you're a drain on society. Even when we get sick from the things that they have put us through, you're a drain on society. Unless we are actively out there fighting their wars, getting their whatever resources that they're trying to get from foreign countries, we aren't useful to them. If there was any doubt that they don't give a shit about us veterans, look at The Vietnam vets. Look at them. They are a prime example of how this country gives zero shits for its veterans, especially the Republicans. That's not to say that the Democrats care for it either, care for us either, because they don't. Nobody in the government does. We're just a convenient tool until we're not. And that's why I don't ascribe to anybody, because nobody in the government actually fucking cares. But the Republicans care the least. To be perfectly honest, they do. They care the least. But either way, I am not surprised by this turn of events by any means. I knew this was coming, especially when our illustrious leader called all of the people that have been, in battle. He called them losers, and especially prisoners of war.
So, as you know very well, that history doesn't lie, and everything that you see is happening. These are the things that happened during the history, and I think before looking at things, because I know we are human beings, and we might feel sorry for what's happening to the white veterans, but again, we need to ask ourselves those critical questions, those questions that they think that we cannot ask ourselves, right? Ask ourselves, why did they stood with black people? When we try to look at black and white people of the United States, where did the things that white veterans did benefited black folks? As of the time I could check, I'm not seeing that happening. So what does this mean? This means that black folks have always been for themselves. So there is no way, like it is right now, they are going to be seeing the importance of having black people to help them fight their fight. And so in everything, there is a moral lesson. And I feel like everyone should understand that the elites have never worked in the favor of you. When they'll get something that benefit them, they're gonna believe in you. And that's what happened to the veterans. When they decided to vote for the oligarchs benefited. And when they benefited, they've forgotten about them. And now they're bearing with the consequences. They're getting to see the wrath of the reality. But on the flip side, I'm seeing black people just trying to, keep their cool, because everything that is happening, it's not like they didn't know. They knew, and they knew that this is coming. So what's the moral lesson out of all this video? The moral lesson of this video, that it teaches you that sometimes you might be doing something thinking that it won't hurt you, while in turn things just change, and now you're the person who is crying, and the person that you thought that will cry is laughing. The person that people thought that will cry are the ones who are watching everything right now. So I think this is the right time to make people understand that all these things happen. And I'm happy for all my black folks who are keeping their cool. I'm happy for all my black folks who are on a vacation, because as I heard, black people are saying that they are on a vacation. So it is that time for black people to build their legacy. By doing what? By keeping quiet, by not participating in all those chaotic things that are happening in the United States. I think it is time that people respect and people value the place of black people, because oftentimes when they go out there fight for all these people, they don't care, or at least give them credits for what they did, but they don't do that, which generally turns as something which is wrong. For the longest time, we have seen black people going out there fighting for the things that never benefited them. But right now, let them march the street, let them go out there. So these are presented unique stories. Honestly, I didn't have much to say about this episode, but I thought it was so impactful. It was so important, because we try to look at the things that happened during the history. We're trying to, compare stats, and we've been seeing that they thought that, well, it's black people that have been played, while it was never black people, or at least the elites knew the people that they are going to be using, and they do that perfectly by creating a divide between black people and white people. And they weaponized white veterans, right, to do things which went against black folks. And so I think everything that you see happening today has a moral lesson. The moral lesson is, if you do something bad, just know it will come back to you. If you do something good, also just know that it will also come back to you. So I don't know where you're watching me from, but I think everything is leveling itself, and it is time that people get to learn the true history of America. Until then, these are presenter Genetic Stories, and I'm hoping to see you on my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.